Hey vlog, today we're going to be talking about The A-List. Not the list that you're not on, but the show, The A-List, which is on Netflix and is not a Netflix original.
I think it is a Netflix original.
Is maybe a Netflix original. It's wild.
Yeah, completely crazy. We've watched 8 out of 13 episodes.
Which I think means we're like exactly halfway or like one episode over halfway.
Yeah, well...
They're like, what, 14?
They're 13. So 2 episodes over halfway. But I can't tell you that we know at this point what this show is necessarily about, but there will be spoilers for the first 8 episodes of The A-List here.
I don't know if I would recommend it. I don't know if it's good or bad, but we do know we will finish watching it.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll let you know what we think once it's done. The show centers around a group of kids, high schoolers, coming to Peregrine Island.
What is important is that all of these kids are played by 30-year-olds, and there's no age difference between the actors playing the campers and the ones playing the counselors in the show, because this takes place at a summer camp.
Yes, and the counselors there are terrible.
There are only 2 of them for what seems to be
20?
30? Who knows? When it's convenient for the camp to have less people, it does. It only has the important people. But when we need more people on camp to make it seem like the party's more fun or seem like Amber's excluding more people, we have additional people we've never seen before.
The story centers around Mia, who is... Well, no, that's untrue. The story centers around a narrator that we don't know or understand. That we thought was maybe Mia.
The story has a narrator that is unnecessary currently. But at one point we realized it's definitely not Mia because it talks about, like, Mia in the third person. And then I thought it might be Amber, and then it talked about Amber in the third person. And so we think that it's maybe this dead girl, Midge. And that makes the narrator a little bit interesting, but everything the narrator says is not important, could be told through showing rather than saying, and is generally like a bad script writing move.
Mia shows up at this camp, and she is clearly like one of the cool girls, one of the popular girls. She is scoping out who's gonna be her best friend, and also who's gonna be the boy she crushes on this summer, and she's got it on lock. She finds this guy named Dev, whose full name I think is Devin, and they're playing some game, and they're having a cute moment, and then out of nowhere, despite the fact that she wasn't part of this game up until then, Amber appears to be like, no, you and Dev cannot be together.
It's very odd, because it seems like we're getting this narrator telling us that the popular girl always needs to find a BFF and a boyfriend. And then when Amber shows up, it's like, and now the popular girl's finally here. And it's like, it wasn't Mia the whole time.
At first it's like, summer camp, there's rivalries. Drama. And it's your typical, like, these people versus these people and the social outcasts. With a little bit more wokeness than most summer camp. But they're playing Capture the Flag. And they're on these rope bridges. And Amber...
That are there for some reason.
Yeah, who knows. And Amber falls. Like,
she's laying in the net. Looks like she could stand up at any moment. Going, help! And so Mia, like, instead of going on the same bridge and helping her stand,
gets on the
other bridge and, like, grabs hands.
And she holds onto her hand. And then Amber literally just goes...
And falls... Not into a river. Into...
a creek.
A rock with some water on it.
Like a very small creek.
And then someone has to go and help her up.
But they go in the water to help her out. Like, she's clearly tangled in the ropes. Couldn't probably at that point get up herself. But her butt's getting a little wet. And she's like, I'm dying. And also, she so clearly let go of Mia's hand.
And everyone's like, Mia, why would you throw Amber in the lake? Or in the river, sorry. It's not a lake. Let's not get crazy. Why did you throw Amber in the river?
Yeah. And she's like,
knowing what we know now, you could chalk that scene up to something other than bad directing.
Yes.
But I don't think it is.
Yeah,
I think it's
I
just a
don't
poorly
know.
done scene. Then there's a scene where Mia gets out of the shower and her best friend up until that point, Kaylee, is just cutting her hair
She had really long,
in the mirror.
really beautiful
She has
hair.
really long hair that she brushes 100 times twice a day, and she counts. That she's just cutting off, and then even though physically it shouldn't be possible, Amber just like appears behind her and is like, her hair looks so pretty, it looks like mine now.
I mean, in her defense, Kaylee's hair does look nice short.
But Mia's just like, what? And we're just like, what?
So then as the story develops, you start to realize that Amber is like getting creepier and creepier. And you see a photo that is clearly older of the
Because
camp.
it's sepia.
Yeah. Of the camp with Mia and Dev as the Equinox.
The Midsummer King and Queen, and everyone else who was at the camp there.
Yeah, except you
Amber.
don't see Amber in that picture.
But there is a corner of the picture that's like covered.
Yeah.
So.
And then the actual festival happens, and Amber gets crowned queen.
Clearly by controlling people's minds.
Yes.
Like, at that point, she makes this other girl, Jenna, who's not important, see worms in chocolate cake and then act like a crazy person. And then when she, like, lets go and has fun and starts kissing a boy, like...
She, like, gets upset. So Dev, despite the fact that Amber obviously wants Dev to be her king, he sneaks off with Mia because they
in
like
love.
each other. And she gets real upset, and like her anger seeps over and turns
everyone just
crazy.
starts being crazy. So, like, she's having a good time, and she's like, everyone's having a good time, why aren't you? And then suddenly everyone's having a good time. So everyone's having a good time, they're making out with each other, and it's wild. And then she gets angry, and people start, like, throwing punches, and this girl, Petal, who is important, she's not, but, like...
She's important to us. We
She's
like
gay.
Petal.
We like Petal. Petal starts being real out of character mean, and it's very upsetting, and then Jenna starts crying, and then Amber takes over Jenna's mind, and now Jenna is a zombie. Every time something happens, we're confused.
Yes.
So, like, Amber having mind control powers, unanswered, no idea why. Every time she uses them, it's new information that she can do this thing that she's doing with them.
She clearly has some sort of like manipulation and also something very memory driven. Like she's taken people's memories because she asks people for items that are important to them.
To take their pain away.
Yeah, she says to take their pain away. And then when she does it, their memories are clearly gone with it because they found like a watch that was Dev's, and he was like, I didn't remember this watch until I saw it, but like my dad gave me that watch. It should be important to me, and like why don't I remember it? And she's like, oh, it's not anything. And we have slowly figured out that last year a girl died named Midge, died at this camp. Maybe
last year. Maybe the 90s.
Yeah, they say last year, but it could have been a while ago. And that all of the people that are here are the same people who have been here before. And so there's...
But they all say that it's their first time there.
Yeah.
So they're clearly...
Like, the only person who's not their first time is the counselor.
Dave.
Yes. We don't know if they are stuck in sort of some time loop. None of them remember. Mia does use a phone to call a friend, and that's how she finds out that Midge died, but... Whether or not that was a real call,
because she
I'm
also
not sure.
Goes home and talks to her parents and is sad, and then...
That was a hallucination brought on by Amber.
Yeah. Mia, and also this girl Alex, who we haven't talked about at all, but it's fine, and also this boy Harry, who we haven't talked about at all, but it's fine, now are investigating Camp and Amber, and they think that, like, Amber has these mind control powers, and this girl Midge died... And they're, like, trying to, like, Scooby Gang it a little bit.
And they are, like, less susceptible to her powers for whatever reason. Like, Alex straight up stands up to them. You can sort of see things breaking down. They found that secret lab that was researching plants that has clearly been closed for a long time.
That is from the 90s, which is why maybe last summer was the 90s. It's very unclear.
We have several more episodes to figure it out. But before we go, we did not mention the most important character in the show. Luca.
Somehow, in this...
There's an Oliver Queen style guy on this island.
Yeah, like an island Oliver Queen is a very good description. At some point, Mia hears someone crying. She falls on the ground. Then she looks up and there's a guy with a bow and arrow in her face. Curly hair, nice bright blue eyes, mostly clean face and upper body, but then like on the muscles strategically placed dirt and blood.
Yes. And clearly has been living on the island for a while. He's the first one who says, I thought that the camp closed down. There aren't any fairies anymore. Yeah. Clearly I was wrong. And so we don't know what he knows, and I can't decide if he maybe knows what's going on or if he's also stuck in this, I don't know.
Mallory Vance, what is the best thing about this show?
The best thing about the show is, I mean, I'm kind of enjoying the, like, mystery of where they are in time. I think for me, that's the best thing about this show. What about for you?
It's a pretty show, like, aesthetically, and I obviously enjoy that. I also enjoy that it's, like, unpredictable. Like, sometimes we're like, what the heck is happening? But it's not so far off the edge that when something confusing happens, you feel like it'll never come, like, they'll never get back to it. It feels like they have a lot of balls in the air, but I have a lot of confidence that, like,
we're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out, because that's the point of the show, as opposed to some other, like, unpredictable shows that just, like, throw wrenches into things for kind of no reason. At least this, like, is a mystery, and so it being more and more wild isn't a problem.
My biggest fear is that because it's a show, this first season is just gonna end with, like,
no closure.
Yeah.
What is your wildest theory for this show?
Okay. My wildest theory for this show is that Amber is not a human, she's a plant.
If that's what's happening, they've done a horrible job setting that up.
Alternately, Mia is in a psychiatric hospital, and this is all a hallucination.
That does actually seem likely. Like, that's the shit this show would do.
What's your wildest theory?
So my wildest theory that is, like, pretty much, like, debunked already is that, like, Midge and Mia are the same person. My, like, actual wild theory that has not been debunked is that this group of campers were at the camp, like, in the mid to late 90s, and that's when someone died, and that every year since then they've just been, like, replaying the year over and over, and Amber just keeps, like, failing to actually make them forget everything, so then she has to, like, start again.
We'll watch the last episodes at some point, and we'll report back on the important things, which are, what the heck is Amber? When the heck are these people? Is Midge really dead / a person? And who is Luca? I'll see you tomorrow.